And then you can just start whenever you want. Just put your mic on mute so that you're not saying anything you shouldn't before you start.
Yeah.
But I'm
Hey y'all, how's it going? If you want to make me a co-host, I can share the video, or I mean the presentation.
Perfect.
Got it.
Hi guys, we're going to get started in just a second here. We're also live on YouTube, so if you have a parent that wants the link to it, you're able to see it there as well. Do I have a lag at all, Miss Kenny?
You're a little jumbled, a little like.
Jumbled. I'm going to try to move. I'm going to be sitting on the floor at home, but you know what?
Oh. What we have to do to get connectivity. Hi, everybody. I see 3 people up in here. Hi, Kai. Hi, Emma. Hi, Ivan.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Hey, we appreciate you being here.
All right, is that better?
Yep, much better.
Okay, there we go.
Is Mr. Framo joining us or? Not sure.
I'm not sure, but we can go ahead and get started anyways, just to be wise of time here today and make sure everybody gets it.
All right, cool. So we are starting off, well, today's focus is about FAFSA Dream Act, as well as Parchment in your transcripts. We probably should have that flip-flop because that's the order we're going in. But so first we're going to be talking about some details of what Mr. Faremo does, and then we'll go into Parchment, transcripts, FAFSA, Dream Act, scholarships, all that fun stuff. So let's move it on forward. So Mr. Faremo updates. Did you want to touch on the
Sure.
workforce partnership? And then
Sure, I'll go ahead and do that. So as far as what we have going on for you guys this week through the Career Center, we have a partnership with the San Diego Workforce. And what that is the program through San Diego where we have job coaches available. Typically they're on campus, but as of right now, obviously they're done virtually. So we have some students signed up for that workshop tomorrow. It'll be after school. The information is on our website, or you can email Mr. Faremo directly. We'll be posting this presentation on our website, so you'll have the link to his information there. But they are helping with connecting you to jobs in the local area. They're also connecting you or giving you advice on filling out your resume, how to write a cover letter, how to complete your job application. So that's going to be something that's happening every other week on Thursdays. And it will be a live virtual webinar that you guys can take part of. There's also individual appointments that are available for that. So make sure you're paying attention to the website.
Yep. We also still have virtual college reps coming, so you can sign up for those. This is kind of, I'm going to bring you to a link to our web page. So the calendar of events typically gives when we have college visits happening, as well as just anything related to college career, anything that's going on. So look onto this. It'll kind of give you some information, virtual events and such. Some of them are able to be filmed and we can put them on our website. However, some of them are also, they just for their own rights, they don't want us to video, and we're not able to video them or put them on our webpage. So just know that if there's definitely a virtual college visit that you want to be a part of, sign up for the live one. And if you missed out, hopefully we have a recording of it. The next one is our scholarship board. So Mr. Faremo is very good at keeping the updates. Oops, sorry, there's people trying to enter. So let me let them in. Waiting room.
I got it.
Okay. So oops, now I'm inviting people. No. So here's our scholarship board. It's very up to date. So he has all of these, or the links to them, as well as some description of what they're looking for. The newest one that he just added was the Coca-Cola one for October, and it's due October 31st. So the Coca-Cola Founder Scholarship is one that definitely everybody should be applying to if you have the possibility to. Otherwise, check out this webpage. I mean, he is very detailed, has a ton of different opportunities for you to get free money. Okay. So everybody loves free money. So all you have to do is do the legwork to make sure that you're applying, because if you don't apply, you have no chance of winning. Okay. So keep up to date on this and apply when you can. All right. Anything you want to add to that?
No, that's good.
Okay. All right. Moving on. We have had a lot of students asking about how to obtain transcripts. Okay. So transcripts are obviously all of the courses you've taken and the grades that it's something that you can use to help you with doing your, with doing your applications as well as anything else. So how do you order transcripts? Well, you should have gotten a Parchment kind of code, so to speak, through your email last week. It was sent to all students, all seniors received an email about how to register your account. So what you want to do is, I'm linking us to our webpage. You are a current MVHS student, okay? You have not graduated yet. Once you graduate, then you become an alumni. But for the purposes of today, I'm going to click into current MVHS student. Again, first and foremost, first step is registering your Parchment account. Okay, so you take that code that was emailed to you and you register. If you have questions about registering, there is a video link here that you can click on, and it's like a 2+ minute video that basically gives you step by step. The big key that we want you to do is when it tells you to enter in an email account, make sure that you're putting in the email that you are planning to use for your college applications. Okay. Don't put in your Vista Unified School District 1. If you're putting in your Vista Unified School District 1, then when you're alumni and you're coming back trying to get your transcripts, you won't be able to get in because that email will no longer exist. Okay. So just be mindful of that when it prompts you to create or put in a different email, put in your personal email, don't continue with your Vista Unified one. So once you have registered your account, then you can start requesting transcripts. Okay. So once you request a transcript, you can request it for 2 different reasons. Okay. You can be sending it to somebody or you could be sending it to yourself. Okay. So you'll request it and then where you want it to go to. When do you want to send it to a college or university?
Or when should you be requesting it to be sent to a college and university?
Better way to state that.
Be like before you apply.
Try again.
This is a tricky question, and that
It is a
seems
tricky
to
one.
be
Is it after you apply?
Yes, you're getting closer.
After you get accepted.
Yes, basically that. When they ask, okay? So you don't have to send them anything until they ask, especially when it comes to transcripts. Basically, they're having you do what's called self-reporting, okay? So in your applications, you are self-reporting. You are saying, here are the classes that I took over the last 4 years, and here are the grades that I got, okay? So you're self-reporting. Once they accept you, then they'll say, can you please send us a copy of your official transcripts? At that point, then you come in and say, ooh, I need to go to my Parchment account. I need to order my transcripts and have it sent to the university. Okay. So you don't need to do that before then. So if any of you have put in any requests to Mrs. Embry through Parchment and you're like, why does it say hold or why is it not being sent? It's because she's not sending those out to the universities because she knows the universities don't want it yet. Okay. They want to wait until you've finished all of your classes and they have a complete transcript. Otherwise, with you self-reporting. Okay. Now, go ahead.
When you self-report on the Common app or whatever, does it like say that each grade you got in each individual class, or is it just, do you just write the GPA? Since I don't remember seeing I remember seeing a grade on, maybe there was, I don't remember, but do
Where
they,
you come
through Common App, you're self-reporting. There should be an area for your grades for each of your classes. We're going to be doing a session. Is it next week already on Common App?
I think it's next week is the Common App, and then the week after that is the UCs. Yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned, or else vice versa. But we'll be doing more walkthrough of those things.
Yeah. They will ask about your GPAs, but then they're going to also dig into like what were all the classes that you took, because they have to know that you're A through G, you've met your A through G requirements. And the only way they're going to know that is if you have, reported what classes you've taken. Okay. There are some times where scholarships will ask for your transcripts. At that point in time, you can send it. So go back in and request. But again, the only thing that you would need it for right now is pretty much for yourself. Okay. So we would recommend that you order a transcript, register your account and order a transcript for yourself, just so you have it on record, so that way, when you're filling out your applications, you have that to kind of refer to. So any questions about Parchment or registering your account? Am I glitchy or am I okay?
A little glitchy, but it's good. It's okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys. It's the issue. Okay. So, and here's kind of the next one, step by step. So step 1, register your account. Step 2, sign in. Step 3, order your transcripts. And step 4, determine where do you want them sent. Okay. But again, once it's sent to yourself, just save it into your drive or into your computer so that way you can use it whenever you need it. Okay, now going into the transcripts a little bit deeper. So if you've looked at your transcripts or you've looked at it through Aries portal, it sucks. Sorry, there's no other word to describe it. Like it's not user friendly. It's not easy to see like it is here when you order a transcript. Okay, this one gives you the different boxes. You can tell which one's fall term, spring term, and you can see it all on one page. When you're looking at it in your Aries, you're like looking for a couple pages, right? So it's not easy. So that's why we're telling you to order a transcript. But when you have a transcript in front of you, here are some of the key areas that we want you to be looking at. The first one is the top left corner. Okay. The top left corner has all of your demographics or your personal information. Okay. So this has your parents' name, your name, address, phone number, all that kind of information that you will be using. Okay. If any of this is incorrect or has changed, please make sure you're letting Denise May, Mrs. May, know about that so that she can update it and that it'll match. Okay. Because if you're putting stuff into your college applications and you're putting in different information than what is actually on your transcripts, then there's going to be discrepancy issues and it's not going to be valid. Okay. They're going to be wondering, is this really Kai Crazen or is this another Kai Crazen that lives in a different city, state, whatever. Okay. So be aware that that information right there is crucial to match, to be validated and be legit once you're applying for your applications. All right. The next one is down. And of course, look at your classes, look at your grades, look over your transcripts, make sure that all the classes that you've taken, whether it be on campus or remediated off of campus, are on your transcript and that the grade correct. There are many times where maybe, you've had a conversation with a teacher grade, and then you look on your transcript and you're like, oh, wait, that wasn't updated. Okay. So if there's any discrepancies with the classes you've taken or the grades that you've received, make sure that you're looking that over and talking to Mrs. Embry or us about that. Okay. The next point, any questions so far about personal information or grades? No. Okay. So the next is this bottom left-hand corner. So some students have been emailing saying, what is my SSID? It's asking for my SSID. Is that my long, school code, or school number? And it's 9 digits. Do I add a 0 somewhere? No. Okay. Does anybody know what their student state ID is or what it even does? Okay. Well,
I
let me inform you. Mrs. Parley, can you tell me what an SSID is?
If you're applying to college, sometimes they want that, especially in the state of California, to verify your residency status and to see how many years you've been involved in the system.
Yep. So the SSID can be found in the bottom left corner. Okay. So it's right underneath your class of 2021. And then you'll see it says state ID number. That is the 10-digit number. Okay. So make sure you're using that number in your applications. If you're like, Miss Kenny, I can't wait till I get my transcript sent to me, then you can also go into your student portal. And when you're in your student portal, click on student data, and then under the profile, click general. Excuse me. Under that general tab, it'll give you your 10-digit. It'll say student state ID, and then it'll give the 10-digit number. Okay. So you can look on your transcript or you can find it on your student portal. Any questions about that? Coolio.
Wait. So,
next is credit. Oops. What'd you say, Kai?
I said, is it so wait, it's under details? Where's the SSID?
Okay. So are you in your student portal?
Yes.
Okay. So do you see where it says student data?
I see student info.
I think there should be one that says student data. Is it student info? Try student info and then click profile
Okay.
and then click general.
General.
Sorry.
General's
see it.
going to be on the main screen
Okay, thank
there.
you.
Yeah. And you should
Found
see
it,
it like
thank you.
right under your 9-digit ID.
Yep, I found it. Thank you.
Do you see it? So is it student? What is it? Not student data? What is it?
It's student info and then
Student
profile.
info. Okay, student info. We can update that once we're done here. Okay, so under student info, then profile, click general. Okay, and you see it?
Mhm.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, so moving along, we are going to now talk about the bottom right-hand corner. And I know we've discussed this before, but I just especially want you to look again as we're moving into your senior year and you're applying to colleges. So this bottom right-hand corner gives you your credit summary. These are all the classes that you've taken here at Mission Vista High School. If you look, you'll see what's required in the first. So you'll see what's required, right, is right here. Then you'll see what you've completed is the next column, and then what's still needed, okay? At this point in time, with you being a senior, pretty much the only two things that you should be needing would be your Gov and English, okay? There might be some other, if you didn't pass a class or didn't get a chance to take your PE yet or whatnot, so there might be 10 credits there. But typically at this point in your senior year, those are the two that are most likely all you need. Okay. So you have your English and your Gov. If there's any others that you know on here, like maybe it does say PE, you still need 10 credits, or that you need 10 credits of math. If it is not in your schedule this year, meaning this term or next term, and then you need to make sure you're reaching out to us as your counselors to kind of say like, yo, I just noticed, I still need 10 credits of PE and I'm not in a PE this year. Okay. So with that, then we can at least get you on track to graduate. Okay. So once you have met all these requirements here in this bottom right-hand corner, what does that earn you? What do you receive by completing all these?
A diploma.
High school diploma.
Yee! Thank you. Yes, a diploma, right? So you get that hot sheet of paper that says that you have graduated high school, right? So will that get you far? What else do you need besides your diploma if you're planning to apply to four-year universities?
Test scores. Right?
We're not really doing tests this year. Typically, yeah. FAFSA, yes, definitely you need your FAFSA. That is something that we definitely want you to have.
What type of course completion should you have? Especially if you're applying to California state schools or UC schools, what are they looking for? Exactly, yeah. So your A through G requirements. They want to, and be knowledgeable about the fact that A through G requirements are California state school requirements. So if you are going to be going outside of California, it's not just your A through Gs that you need to be paying attention to, but for example, a lot of other states require a third year of science or a fourth year of math. So just make sure that you're paying attention to those requirements. And if you need to adjust your schedule for even spring term, if you're a senior, you go ahead and do so by meeting with one of us, your counselors.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So again, knowing how to read your transcripts, knowing that your transcripts are current, knowing that you've met all the credit summary classes, then you are good to go to get your diploma. And then again, referencing it next to your A through G requirements, making sure that you've had those as well, will then, make sure that you're able to get your diploma as well as apply to those four-year universities that you're hoping to apply to. All right. Any questions on transcripts?
If you do have questions, will you go to the next screen?
I have a quick question. So when you
Go ahead.
when you add your counselor in your whatever school you apply to, don't the counselors like submit a transcript there or no? Or is that not part of
So if it is a
We do.
Common App school, or if it's a school that uses a system called Send EDU, we will have the opportunity to submit a transcript there. But it's always very wise of you that if a school is requesting that they want an official transcript, always request it through Parchment as well. So send your request through the school's database, but then also put one through ours.
But typically they won't need that last one, or you won't need to until the very end. So kind of from like right now, typically if they need it, they're going to be getting it from us. So we give them, the current, then we usually do a mid-year one. And then at the end is typically when they request it from you all, because it's the end of you completing all of your coursework. So hopefully that didn't get confusing in the mix of those two.
Yeah, it helped a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so moving along. Here we go. Nope, back it up. All right, Mrs. Parley, go ahead.
Yes. So for financial aid, and can you go back a slide, because I put in a new slide and I'm wondering if you have the updated PowerPoint presentation. If you just exit out of it real quick, or just exit out of the main screen for the presentation and just redo it. Do you see a slide for Mrs. Mbhs' contact information on the presentation? You are on mute.
I said, hold up. I'm just going to refresh it real quick. Sorry about that. You're all, anybody?
We can't hear you. But if you guys, while Mrs. Kenny is looking that up, if you guys have any questions in regards to transcripts at all, Mrs. Mbhs is your person to go to. In addition, if you have any questions to San Diego Workforce Partnership, the Scholarship Board, or virtual college rep appointments, those are all going to be through Mr. Faremo in the Career Center. So we will have their information linked in the chat here if you need it.
Okay, and of course my computer is like just spinning right now.
It's frozen. That's what happens, right?
It's going ding, ding, ding. I'm just thinking.
All right, guys, while that's being pulled up, we want to talk to you. The main conversation about today is not necessarily transcripts, but it is financial aid. We are in financial aid season, and it is very important for you guys to be paying attention to dates and deadlines and things that are coming up. In addition to knowing general, what the heck is financial aid? How can I apply for this stuff? What's available to me? So for financial aid, we know based off of research that is done that one of the biggest barriers to students being able to apply to college is that they do not feel like they can afford it in any way, shape, or form. So they either don't apply for school, or they don't know about scholarships that they can apply to, so they don't, and then yet they still think that they're in debt, and so on, because they're not knowledgeable about it. So we want you guys to be knowledgeable about what is available to you within financial aid, how you can apply for that, and how you can come out of college with having the least debt possible, right? Mr. Chavarine shared a video that we can link into this presentation today that's all about the reality of college in today's day and age, and how unmotivating or detrimental it is to students who are coming out of college that owe over $100,000 in debt, when going to college in the first place is supposed to get them to a place that they could be ahead in life, but they're already behind because they owe so much. We want you guys to be able to be savvy about this type of stuff and be as knowledgeable about it as possible. So one of the things that we want to talk to you about, and I think I found here. I think I can present mine, Mrs. Kenny, and we can try that if yours isn't up. Okay, so for financial aid falls under financial aid is the overarching umbrella under aid for students to help them or assist them in paying for college. So there's a difference. There's gift aid, which is a gift to you. You do not have to pay those dollars back. So those are the ones that you want to go for. So within that category of gift aid, we have grants, we have scholarships, and we have merit-based. So your grants are things that you can apply for based on a number of different things, but it's money that's not going to be, that you're not going to have to pay back. Scholarships, once again, those are things that you can apply for that can be from the local level, that are on a national level, and either are going to be given to you, a check written out directly to you, and you can spend it at will, or they're going to want you to be showing them verification that you are enrolled in a college and that you are enrolled potentially full time. Some of those checks will still go directly towards you. Some of those checks will go directly to the college, and the college will help figure out what you can spend that money on. So make sure that if there are grants out there, that you are applying for them. If there's scholarships out there, that you are applying for them. And then merit-based aid. Merit is something that you are applying for and able to get based off of what your accomplishments already are. So that could be your grades from high school. That could be your leadership in programs. So know that those are all different ways that you can go about obtaining gift aid to help pay for college. And once again, key thing here, you do not have to pay them back. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple more things in just a minute, but before we get into that, I want to make sure that you guys understand what need-based aid is. Okay, need-based aid is something that you guys are either going to have to take action on later, or you're going to have to work towards in the moment. So for example, work study. Work study is a program, as you guys are filling out your applications, you're going to have the availability most likely to check boxes saying, what are you interested in? Would you like more information about this? And if your college is asking you through your application, would you like to know more information about work study? Say yes. That means that they could potentially get you hooked up with a job on campus that is tuition free, not tuition free, that is tax free. Tax free payment is what you're going to get for that. That could help you pay for books, for tuition, for numerous different things. In addition, doing work study programs, they are very knowledgeable about the fact that you are in college, because guess what? You're working on that college campus. So they are really flexible with working with your schedule to make sure that you can make it to classes on time, or if you have a big project coming up, that they're assisting you with that. Another thing, if you want to be working on a college campus, maybe even potentially after college is over, this is a great way to get your feet wet, to start networking, to get those jobs lined up. So maybe you have a full-time job out of school at the university, if that's what you're thinking you want to work towards. All right. After work study, the last thing we want to talk to you guys about are loans. So this is the thing that you should put last on your list in being able to think of ways to pay for college. This means that you've exhausted all your other resources through whatever grants, scholarships, or merit-based aid is available to you, that you've applied for work study and maybe you're working on campus, but you still have a certain amount of money that you just don't have in reach. You can apply. Number one should be for federal or state loans. So in order to do that, you have to apply for the FAFSA or the California Dream Act. So when we have students coming to us and saying, oh, I didn't apply for FAFSA, my parents said I'm not going to make enough money for it anyways, still apply, because that qualifies you for potentially loans that you wouldn't have, that have zero interest until after you have graduated or when you have not become like a full-time student. So you're not accruing interest while you're in school, and you don't accrue interest until after school. So make sure that those are the ones that you can get. If now you've exhausted all your gift aid, you've done your work study, you've done your loans, and you have your federal loans, then your other outlets are looking for private loans or Parent Plus loans. Please note that those come with very hefty
Paybacks.
Yeah,
Paybacks and also a lot
very heavy interest rates. That's what I'm
interest.
looking for. We've done this like
Yes.
4 times today, so our brains are a
Yeah.
little fried.
The
So,
interest for those is huge.
yes.
And starts right away. It's not like it waits until right after you're done with your courses, right? So
Yep.
a lot of times with the federal ones, they are great about saying like, oh, you're a student right now. We know you're not making money probably because you're so busy working on your coursework. We will wait until you're done with college and then we'll start, pay back. But when it comes to the other types of loans, you are basically like, as soon as you start borrowing, they're like, give me back, plus with interest. Okay.
Yeah.
So be mindful of that, be creative. And when it comes to scholarships, I mean, a lot of times with the scholarships, yes, at first there's a lot that goes into it and a lot of writing, but kind of once you get into it, becomes a lot easier because all you do is kind of tweak whatever you've already written to match whatever scholarship it is. And the more you put out there, the more you're going to get and receive.
Definitely. All right. So that covers our financial aid umbrella of what that means. So now we're going to get into even more of the nitty gritty here. So we're going to start off with the state of California and what they have to offer you. And these are just 2 of their main programs. So the first one here is the California, the Cal Grant program. So this is something that all schools are required to participate in unless a student opts out. So if we have not received an opt-out letter from you up until this point, we have already done step 1 for you in this 3-step process. We have sent your GPA from up to your junior year to the state, and they are going to use that to match it with something else that you have to apply for, which is, Miss Kenny.
What is it?
What is it, Miss Kenny?
FAFSA or DREAM Act.
Woohoo. Okay. Yes. Your FAFSA or your DREAM Act. So we've done step 1 for you. You have to do step 2, which is your FAFSA or DREAM Act. And we're going to talk about that last because it's very, very important and save the best for last, right?
Yep.
So you need to apply for the FAFSA or the DREAM Act. Once you've applied for that, your schools are going to have your information as far as being able to be released because you've listed them in your FAFSA or your DREAM Act. We have sent your Cal Grant GPAs, so they're going to have that on hand as well. And they're going to use those 2 pieces of information to determine what Cal Grant you can be awarded. And then they're going to release that information to the schools that you're applying to and have listed within the FAFSA. Woohoo. You start getting your acceptances. You accept your offers to your schools, you start looking at your financial aid packages, and then that 3rd step is that you have to create a WebRick Grants account and release the funds, letting your schools know, like, yes, I accept the Cal Grant, and I know it's something that I don't have to pay right away, but that is another opportunity for you. So we've done step 1. You guys have 2 more steps, one being either the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act, which you should be working on now if you haven't already, and then your Web Grants account later on. Other than the California DREAM Act, we also have the CHAFE. And what that is for students who are foster between the ages of 16 and 18. We're in the foster care system. They're a ward of the court or are an unaccompanied youth. Please, please, please get in contact with us if you feel that you fit within that. Sometimes we know students who fit into that category, sometimes we don't, and we want to be here to help you. So reach out because there's extra money that you can qualify for, and you need some, in most cases, like a certificated letter from us letting them know that, yes, this is accurate, so that way that money can be released to you. So just be aware that those are things that the state of California offers. Next on here, also with the Cal Grant, that it works for community colleges, UCs, CSUs, and other approved California colleges and universities, okay? Or trade or
does not work
tech
for
schools.
outer state.
Does not work for outer state. Out of state. No, it does not work for out of state. It will not follow you if you go to an Arizona school or anything that's not within California. Next on there, Miss Kitty. This is that scholarship board that we were talking about. So we have 2 resources for you on our website. We have our scholarship board and we have our scholarship resource page. Those are the 2 bottom right ones. On the scholarship board, this is where Mr. Faremo is listing any scholarships that are coming up, and he has them listed in chronological order by when
month.
they are due. So we have links to information on there that will bring you directly to the site. There's information about the actual scholarship. We also have a calendar if that works for you better. He has created that for you. And then Mrs. Kenny, if you scroll up a little bit, we also have sent out to all of our seniors earlier this year a scholarship interest form for the class of 2020. If you have not filled that out yet, we highly encourage you to do so, because that will allow Mr. Faremo to search you in the system. If we get a scholarship and he's looking for a student that is going to be graduating in the class of 2020 from Mission Vista that is interested in 2021, that is interested in agriculture, he can go to that form really quick, do a quick search, and send that directly out to you. So make sure that you have that filled out if you don't already. And then lastly on this page, a scholarship that's going to be available to you students starting February 1st of 2021 is our MVHS Senior Scholarship Application. This is a scholarship. By just completing this one Google form will qualify you for thousands of dollars that are available to Mission Vista students only. This comes from PTSA. This comes from Foundation, teachers at Mission Vista. We donate our money to help you guys succeed later on. We have community partners that donate money to just Mission Vista students. So now it's not these scholarships that are on these national levels, it's these local scholarships that you have a much better chance in, that you have those connections with, personal connections, that we have a committee made up of Mission Vista teachers, counselors, and then PTSA and Foundation members that vote on these. So very important for you guys to fill out in February. All right, Miss Kenny, next one, we're going to go to our resources slide. So for our resources, this is just another piece of information for you guys. If you're interested in, if you're a military student or family and you want to know what scholarships are available, we have links to that on here. We have our link to the FastWeb, Raise Me, and other resources about Dream Act or other student scholarships that are available here. So just
Also,
added resources for the outside.
If you have not started your FAFSA or your Dream Act FAFSA or Dream Act application, you may click here. It'll bring you right to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So be aware that this is a huge, great resource for you that you can click and just in a click of a button, get to whatever you're looking for. Did you want to touch on the CSS?
Yeah.
profile?
If you go to the next slide, it should be there. We will see. Or maybe I think it's after this.
Okay.
After FAFSA's done. Okay.
Okay.
So speaking of the FAFSA and the California Dream Act, and the most important things that you guys should be focusing on right now. We, at the top of this website, it talks about the race to submit. This is us just really encouraging students to get this in, get your FAFSA or your California Dream Act in early. The application just opened 14 days ago, but the priority closes on March 2nd. Forget about March 2nd being the deadline. Just think, I need to get this in as soon as possible. So make sure that you are applying for it. We will be doing background searches to see how many of our students have completed it and have matched applications with their Cal grants, and be reaching out to you guys personally to say, hey, we've noticed that something's missing, get it in. Traditionally, we have about 70% of our students that either fill out the FAFSA or the California Dream Act, and we really want to push for 100% this year. So if we can get that and get all of our students to get that in, that would be amazing, because then the opportunity is an added opportunity is there for every single one of our students.
Yes. Even if you think you're not going to get anything from it, you will benefit from it. Same as if you're planning to go to, Miracosta or Palomar, you need to make sure that you're filling out the FAFSA in order to get that. Same for, the wave pact agreement. You need to have the FAFSA filled out. So the FAFSA is going to open up so many doors for you.
Yeah, FAFSA or the California Dream Act.
Or the California Dream Act.
But
Yeah,
you have to
either
have
one.
those for the Palomar or Miracosta Promise. You have to have it filled out. For the wave pack agreement, you have to have it completed in order to qualify for both of those programs for either the guaranteed admission or your tuition free for the first 2 years at the community colleges. The reason why we tell all students to fill it out is because you can get added scholarships. The colleges will have access to your financial status, and they'll be able to offer you other things based off of that. So very, very important. Every student fill this out. Can't stress that enough. Okay, so with this, we want to talk to you about how you can qualify. So if you are a U.S. citizen or non-eligible or eligible non-citizen, you are going to be filling out the FAFSA. If you are a student who you are a citizen, but your parents aren't, you are going to be filling out the FAFSA. Now, if you are a student that is non-eligible citizen or meets the AB 540, you are going to be filling out the California Dream Act. If you have questions on these things or don't know your status, please get in contact with us and let us help you figure that out. So that way we can make sure that you're applying for the right application. As you're going through the first couple windows, it will tell you, hey, like we need to figure out your eligibility status, click here, or we need to fill out your eligibility status here and kind of narrow those down for you. Okay, so for the FAFSA or the California Dream Act, we do have worksheets that are available for you on the website too that line up all the documents that you guys are going to need. So make sure that you are using those as a resource. If you get stuck, you have the FAFSA call centers, or you also have the California Dream Act call centers that somebody you could talk to a live body and they can assist you.
Yeah, do not feel as though when you're in the middle of filling out your applications and you get stuck, you can email us, of course, but we're probably not going to get back to you as quickly as it would be as if you had one of these numbers in front of you at the time. So as soon as you're, when you're sitting down and you're filling all these forms out with your parents and you have all your documents with you and you get in that bind where you're like, I don't know what we put here, or this doesn't make sense, we need clarification, dial, if it's for the FAFSA, dial 1-800-4FED-AID. Or if it is for the California Dream Act, you can dial 1-888-224-7268. And again, then you'll get a live person on the phone through the call center that'll be able to answer your question and guide you quicker than we will be able to through an email. So take a screenshot of this, or just make sure that you have this to reference back to. It'll be on our webpage. The next one is the financial aid and selective service. So if you are a male and you are of age, meaning basically 17 to 25, then you do need to, or 18 to 25, you do need to sign up for the selective service. Okay. The selective service is kind of your deed that you need to do in order to get your federal aid. Okay. So this is definitely something a lot of times students are like, do I really have to do that? If you are a male and you are of age, yes, you do. Now, we were talking to Mr. Chirola earlier, and he was saying nobody has been pulled to go to war since Vietnam. So because of the fact that you are in the selective service does not mean that you're definitely going to be recruited. It just means that if we were to get into that bind, you would be somebody. And that is kind of what the federal government in accordance with FAFSA and the DREAM Act have decided, like, if they're willing to sign up for this, we will give them the aid that they need. Okay. So make sure you're signing up for that selective service, even if you disagree with the requirements, or even if you feel like, oh, well, I have a health condition, they won't be able to still sign up. Okay. You can also register online at the Selective Services website. So it's right here if you need more information on that. Any questions on that? Nope. Okay, we're
Where do
moving
we sign
on.
up?
Oh, sorry. What, hun?
Where do we sign up? Like,
so this links you right to it, the Selective Services website.
okay.
But you could also probably just Google Selective Services. I think it's also on our webpage as well. Plus, this will be linked to our webpage. So, yeah, you just need to make sure that you're signing up for that.
Okay, got it.
Awesome. So the next one is basically what Mrs. Parley was referring to. So before you even sit down to start your FAFSA Dream application, have all these in front of you. Okay. So if you're creating an FAFSA, you're going to have your FSA ID. You and your parent are both going to have that in order to continue with the process of the application. You'll also need your driver's license, your parents' driver's license, social security cards, W-2 forms, federal income taxes, assets, list of colleges and universities you plan to apply to or attend. Okay, so there is a plethora of information that you need to have before you actually sit down to start your application. So make sure that to make it easier and seamless, that you have all that stuff ahead of time, so that way you can just get started and roll right through it, and you don't get those hiccups of like, oh wait, I got to go find this, or oh wait, I got to go get that. So use these two. There's one for the FAFSA as well as for the DREAM Act, and it tells you all the documents that you need to be able to sit down and fill out both of those applications. So use these as a resource and use these before you start filling it out. How many of you have already started filling out your FAFSA or DREAM applications?
And
You can
hopefully
give me a thumbs up, or
hopefully within the next couple of weeks,
No?
we'll kind of have a perception of what our school is looking like
Yes,
on that. So
thank
if you
you.
haven't done it, definitely get it in.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have you had any hiccups with it, or has it been pretty smooth sailing? I'm taking that as smooth sailing. All right. Well, if you don't have any questions about it, we can go ahead and move on.
Yep.
Let's see if
We
it'll
might
let
have
me.
to go through too. Oh. I think you just clicked on the one to
What?
the actual website there because it was a link.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Come on, go
I
back.
believe the next thing that we're going to be talking about, those were the main financial aid things that you guys are going to be seeing this year as far as scholarships, FAFSA, California DREAM Act, Cal Grant. Now, the CSS profile, this is something that if you guys are going to be applying to out-of-state colleges that are mainly private schools, they use the CSS profile. This is a very detailed financial aid application that will that some schools that basically will meet up into 100% of your need based aid will require you to fill out. So we tell students that do not just go and jump on filling this out because it's a very intensive application. Check with your schools that you're applying to. If you're applying to all Cal State CSUs and community colleges, disregard this slide. But if you are going to be applying to private schools and you know that you most likely are going to have some need-based aid and you're going to exhaust all your other resources, this is something that you can jump on and complete. So it is an application that is run on the College Board website. You need to create an account and you'll list colleges to have access to your information there as well. So just know that it's just something else that you might see out there in the world of financial aid. If you are bored and have nothing else to do and you've done all of your applications and your FAFSA, by all means, jump on and do it. But If not, I would say hold off until
They ask you, yeah, too.
They have asked you for that, just like a transcript. All right. So some of the questions that we got this week from some of our college apps classes were in regards to the FAFSA in the financial section. What do you need to do if you haven't even worked or anything like this? You can click that you do not have an income there and move on to the next section. If you do have an income, just write what that was in that section and move on. If you have questions, because maybe you didn't file for it because it wasn't over the barrier that you needed to file for, once again, call that financial aid 1-800-4-FED-AID and ask those questions directly to the FAFSA reps that can assist you with that. And that goes the same thing for the California Dream Act. Secondly, on here, one of the questions that we got were, as I'm filling out my FAFSA, and I have submitted it, but I want to add more schools or change schools, can I do that? And the answer is yes. You can submit your FAFSA with the colleges that you know, the top 10 colleges that you think that you're most likely going to get into or that you want on your list. As you get acceptances or denials, you can log back into your FAFSA account. You can update it. You're going to change it on your college list, and then you need to resubmit your FAFSA on the last page. So it's not like it's a one-stop shop deal. You can go back in there several different times and adjust this. So if things change at the very end and it wasn't a school that you put on your list for FAFSA that you get accepted to and that you accept the admissions for, you need to go back into the system, add them to your list, so that way they're able to give you their financial aid award. Schools are not going to be able to give you your most updated, accurate financial aid award until you have them listed in either your FAFSA or your California Dream Act. So just make sure that that is updated as possible. Next question here was, I cannot find my major under two of the schools that I'm a list that I am applying to in the list for my majors. What should I do? So our idea of what a major needs to be listed as sometimes is not exactly the same as what the college has it listed as. So if you're having issues with that and trying to figure it out, you can do a couple things. You can either email their admissions department directly and ask them your specific question to get it straight from the source. Best option. You can set up an appointment with one of us counselors for our virtual appointments, and we can do it as a Zoom, so you can share your screen and we can walk you through the process. And if we do that and we still don't know, then we can assist in trying to find that answer for you. So the best thing we could do is reach out for help with that, and we can try to get those answers, those questions answered for you. And then lastly on here, what if I am more focused on sports aspect of college? Is there anything basically that I need to do? And the answer for that is yes. If you are interested in playing sports in college, whether it is at a private school, whether it's a Division 1, 2, or 3, you need to know what basically brackets that they're in. Are they an NAIA sport? Are they NCAA? There are eligibility centers that you must apply to in order to be considered for college scholarships. So we have those listed on our website. And they have two different eligibility centers because they're two different programs. So know what colleges you're going to be applying to and what eligibility center you need to be accessing, or if it's both of them, fill out both of them. There are different requirements that they have for their application, basically based off of classes and completion. The majority of our students meet that with our A through G requirements, and the fact that at Mission Vista you guys take so many added electives that's usually not a problem. The eligibility center applications, there is a fee. I think it's roughly around $70. If you qualify for free or reduced lunch, you can get that fee waived. So if you have any questions about that, please do let us know. Mr. Hall, our athletic director, you can also reach out to him if you have any specifics about recruiting for sports. I think that was the last question on that one. One of the other ones that I did get earlier this week, and I worked with a student on, was they were a citizen and their parents are not citizens. So if you are a citizen, you're filling out your financial aid, You need to be filling out your FAFSA. You need to be requesting an FSA ID. Your parent will not be able, because they don't have the citizenship, if both of your parents don't, they will not be able to get an FSA ID. You will go ahead and complete your FAFSA. And then when it gets the parent information, you're going to be letting them know that they do not have a citizenship documentation. And the way that they're going to sign is they're going to prompt you to fill or print out a signature page, which your parents are going to need to fill out, sign, and mail in. Typically in the non-COVID world, that takes 2 weeks. So everything is slower now. So just anticipate more of a turnaround time. Some of our students who fit into that category, we know that it is not always on the top of your priority to share information with the federal government or anybody for that reason, but know that in my entirety of being a counselor and years prior to that, I have never heard of any information getting shared with any other departments of government that may be a concern of it getting in the wrong hands. So it is a safe program. There are laws, and ACLU would be all over that. So do not be afraid of that. Fill out your FAFSA, do the parent signature. If you have questions or are hesitant about anything in regards to financial aid, and this goes for any student, reach out, ask questions, let us know your concerns. We are here to help you through that process. Ms. Kenny, is there anything you wanted to add?
I'm going to look in the chat real quick.
If
we want our transcripts, do we talk to our counselors? Oh, okay. So at the very beginning, we had mentioned Parchment. So register your Parchment account and you can order a transcript for yourself there that can be sent to you via email. So go register your account. Look at earlier into this presentation and you'll be able to know how to do that. It's also on our webpage. But yeah, the thing that I just really want to kind of to capitalize on is make sure that if you have those questions, don't sit there and wonder, like an appointment with us. We have those virtual appointments for you guys to ask us these questions. And if we can see your screen or see what's going on, that will be way more beneficial and we'll be able to help you. It'll expedite the process rather than going back and forth through email.
Yeah. Also, we are lucky to live in a state that knows how important financial aid is. And there are things called Cash for College workshops. So it's something that you register for. They're live, where you get somebody to walk you through your application. They're doing them virtually this year. So you're going to do it from your home rather than going to a center. We will have those linked on our website and have them available for you, but you can sign up for them every week. There's usually a couple different ones that you're able to attend. You just need to register prior and they're absolutely free. And all the information that you talk to them is confidential. So if you have questions, just another resource out there for you to have somebody walk you through the process, whether it's the FAFSA or whether it's the DREAM Act. Okay, I'm going to stop the live for everybody that's joining there. So thank you for joining. And we hope to see you next week on live for us. So hope you enjoy.